والآن أيها الأحبة نبتدي هذا المنتدى بالجلسة الأولى.
راح أتحول إلى اللغة الإنجليزية من الآن وطالع. Our first keynote speaker is Mr. Alain Ozan. He is the Technology Vice President of Oracle in Middle East and Africa. Alain Ozan leads the Oracle Technology Sales Consulting team from Saudi, UAE, Turkey, South Africa, Egypt, and Morocco. He leads a team of experts responsible for introducing to the MEA market all the IaaS and PaaS services offered by Oracle Public Cloud and Oracle Cloud at Customer. Over the last 2 years, his team contributed to the double-digit growth of Oracle IaaS and PaaS business in the region, with noticeable success stories and public references available on Oracle websites. Alain Ozan started his career in software development before moving to managerial positions, leading teams of international experts, advising customers on leading-edge technology solutions to support their business goals. Please welcome Mr. Alain Ozan.
Okay, here you go.
Which one is yours? The first one, right?
Yeah. You can put the
You got a clicker. That's on.
Okay.
Way down here, you can click on this part.
Okay, this one.
Yeah, goes to left and right.
All right.
You should broadcast.
Okay.
You can fix the mic
Okay.
to your liking if you
Okay.
want. You want a clip mic or a regular mic, or this
That's
is
okay.
for
It's
you.
fine.
Alright.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. It's a real honor to be here today, and I want to thank the organizer and Dr. Ramadan for the invitation. I think His Excellency the Minister has clearly set up the background for the forum and for this presentation, which is basically about how you can get more value out of your data, all the data available in the world, with artificial intelligence and machine learning. When I started to work on this presentation, there is always this question, where do we go? Not too much technical. I'm sure there are experts in the room with deep knowledge in AI, and it's not the purpose of the presentation, but not to go too much in the cloud where we are too generic and there is no much value. So I'm focusing a lot on use case, because AI is very much about understanding the use case for AI. So you will see a lot of use case during the presentation. And those use cases are basically what we do with our customers. And at the very end, I will also discuss what Oracle has to offer in that field. So 3 elements are coming together. I try to make this clicker working. Okay. But before, I want to give you some numbers, because by 2030, clearly, artificial intelligence will be everywhere. And I see a lot of young people in the room. I guess you are being trained, some of you, on AI and artificial intelligence, because we cannot escape it. It's already there. 75 of executives, this is a very recent, in September. It is done by the MIT Sloan review with Boston Consulting Group, a study with 3,000 executives and managers. And 75 of executives believe AI enabled their companies to move into new business. It's not surprising. 85% giving a competitive advantage. But so far, only 20% of the companies has extensively incorporated AI in offering our processes. So it's still incubating, and 39% of all companies have an AI strategy. So still a lot of work to be happening here. But what's happening in the world? Why AI suddenly is coming full front. It's not just about driveless cars. It's not just this. It's about the way we are looking at our data. We are moving in a data-driven economy, and you can see a lot of review articles in the management publication, in the financial publication about data being the new oil. My presentation is really to ensure what needs to happen to make this data really to be the new oil in the economy. Interestingly enough, data-driven organization grown 8 times over the global GDP. A fantastic advantage here using the data. The second element is the cloud computing power and fast storage. What we have seen happening is an increase in the power of the computing. We have graphic processing user unit for fast computing. We have flash storage. We have very fast Ethernet. So basically now, in a matter of minutes, you go to a cloud subscriber like Oracle Public Cloud, and you can set up an infrastructures for AI. You have almost unlimited computing powers. You are almost unlimited storage for your data. This is a big change. The barrier for entry in this artificial intelligence market are very, very low with the cloud. The third element, and just before I go to this, I want to give you some data about the cloud reality in Saudi Arabia. We have done a survey worldwide at Oracle, and basically we have data point for the Saudi Arabia market for infrastructures as a service. So basically, having all your using cloud for your network, for your computing, for your storage. And 66% of the companies we interview in Saudi Arabia believe yes, cloud make it easier for business to innovate. 66%. 60% said yes, significantly reduce the time to deployment for new application and services. 60% again believe companies not investing in infrastructures as a service, so not using the cloud services for the data center, we struggle to keep up with those that are. And finally, 40% said infrastructures as a service is already delivering a competitive advantage. So clearly, the Saudi market and companies in Saudi are understanding the power of the cloud and what they can take out of it. Based on this, we recently make an announcement at Oracle, and this again was done 3 weeks ago, positioning Saudi Arabia where we are going to set up an Oracle public cloud in Saudi Arabia for our Saudi Arabian customers. And if you look at the list of the other countries here, we are putting Saudi Arabia with China, India, Japan, Singapore, and South Korea, where we will also set up Oracle Public Cloud data centers. So the Saudi Arabian market is very, very important. We are talking with, we are putting Saudi Arabia matching China, India, and Japan, very large countries. So that's a very good news for our customers. They will get access to all cloud services of Oracle set up in Saudi Arabia. So the third element, I talk about the data, I talk about the computing power coming from the cloud, and then we have the new technology enablers. Currently, we see 4 technology enablers. Maybe there is a bit more, but mainly we are talking conversational AI, chatbots, and that is pretty common nowadays. You see more and more development of application using chatbots. Connected device, IoT, again, this is quite of a usage already in supply chain manufacturing. We are talking blockchain, and Oracle is offering blockchain services. And finally, artificial intelligence, and I will focus on this piece. So machine learning. And machine learning is based on algorithms. that can learn from data without relying on rule-based programming. So this is very important, can learn from data. Without data, AI algorithms, machine learning doesn't exist. You need a lot of data to feed your AI algorithms and to be able to model and to be able to predict. And we will go through use case to demonstrate this. I take a first use case, which can be linked to one of the objectives of Vision 2030, which is to improve basically farmers getting higher yield for crops. I will use this format for all the use case presenting. I start from the big red arrow. This is the use case. This is the business pain we want to remove by using AI. In that case, it's a customer, it's a company, it's an Oracle customer, company selling seeds, fertilizer, and other product to farmers. What they want to do is better customer engagement. They want to increase the customer engagement of the farmer with them, more interaction, more buying. One way of doing this is to have a better ROI for the farmer, meaning higher yield for crops. The way they do this is basically for the company selling to farmers is to give the right advice and the right choice to the farmers and to come to individual recommendation to farmers. How they do this is basically feeding an algorithm, creating on an analytic platform with imaging data. So they are taking picture of the field at different time of the year. They have sensor data in the field to take different measures, humidity, temperatures, winds, strengths, and they are taking weather data and patterns. And all this is streamed in the analytic platform to create an algorithm, to feed an algorithm, and from these algorithms, there are individual recommendations made to the farmer. So very good case here for machine learning in terms of individual recommendation. So what we see happening, and is very much is transition from pure analytical. A lot of people in the business are doing analytics, which is mostly reporting on financing, report on sales, where we focus on what happened. A typical analysis is how much of this product has been sold in this geography by a specific partners of us, okay? Very focused on the past. With machine learning, we're moving to predictive. With supervised machine learning, we focus on what will happen. So this is predictive, what will happen in the futures if we do this, or if this happened in the past. We want to be also prescriptive with unsupervised machine learning, and this is about recommendation. What are we going to do? A good example of recommendation, if you are using a Netflix subscriber, is the recommendation of Netflix. You can think it's very simple, but by the way, there is a fascinating, if you are in this field, blog, which is written by Netflix data scientists. It's public. And they explain the recommendation algorithms, how they take the pattern of the current viewer, the pattern of other customers, they put this in a specific algorithms, and they create the recommendation. It's a very, very detailed example, scientific example, how Netflix is using data for increasing the subscriber and the customer satisfaction. I really invite you, if you are in that field, to search on the net and to find this blog. So machine learning, I will be very fast on this. There are different classes of algorithms that you need to know. You have supervised learning for classification, and this is giving predictive discrete response. You can predict repetitive buyer for a product. You have regression analysis, where you predict continuous response, predict future demand for a product, like, for example, gas product over the winter time. You have unsupervised learning, where basically the algorithm is learning from itself, and this is very much about clustering, finding hidden patterns, grouping, and for example, you want to identify aggregate customer type. I move on very fast on this, but we have machine learning for optimization with actions taking from an algorithm, depending on the environment, can reward the algorithms for learning better. This is being very much used in self-driven car capabilities, but in finance as well. You can optimize cash on hand and vendor discounting, for example, using this. You can optimize demand accuracy for a certain class of product. And you can do recommendation. I talked about Netflix already. They are using this kind of machine learning optimization. Of course, everybody in this field knows deep learning, and I'm not going to do a training on deep learning about neural network, but this is part also of what is needed for image processing, land management, discovery of damage area after natural disaster, for example, process medical scan for identifying disease, and this deep learning neural network is also used for natural language processing. But I want to present another use case, which is predicting patient engagement. The use case is very important for the health authority everywhere in the world. There is a real issue of patients taking their medicines. When you're getting older, you have to take a lot of medicines for the rest of your life. And very often, patients are reluctant to take the medicines. So everywhere, governments are trying to increase healthcare program success. How they can do this? They need to adjust incentive for the patient. They need to personalize the recommendation. It's not just giving, you have to take this medicine. They have to understand the context, why they have to take it. It has to be very, very, very personal. Again, you have a lot of data already available to do this. You have the patient's social habits, smoking, non-smoking, doing sport, not doing sport, socioeconomic attributes of the person, medical record, of course, but also more and more connected device to take the vital sign of the patient. If you feed all those data into your analytic platform and you train an algorithm, you will be able to predict patient propensity to take medicine. So, can say Alain Ozan, given all this data about him, is likely have 90% chance to drop medicine recommendation, Okay, what can we do? What kind of recommendation we can make to him and what kind of incentive we can propose to him to make it from 90% not taking the medicine to 10%. This is a real example of healthcare policy driven by AI. This is a very, very important point. AI algorithms are not natively intelligent. Well, they are dumb. They don't know anything. They learn inductively by analyzing data. So they need data for getting more intelligent. This is the principle of AI algorithms. More data you feed, better the prediction is coming, better the recommendation is coming. And the consequence of this is companies that are data innovators lead AI adoptions. And I will go through what I am talking about, what is a data innovator. I think this is the two elements of AI algorithms. It's about AI adoptions, but it's about the capability of mobilize all the data available for feeding your AI algorithms. And it's not an easy task. Data innovators mobilize all available data sources and data types. You need a lot of data to train AI algorithms to recognize a pattern. Okay, if you want to recognize a maintenance system, so you want to know, predict when a machine in your assembly line will break. If you don't add any recorded failures, previous failures, nothing will get out of it. You need example to learn from. And you have a lot of data from customer, competitors, vendors, regulators, but also very strange data coming on, graph data of network of people, spatial data, emotions. Emotions, human emotions is becoming a very, very important data. And that can be seems very curious, but I'm going to give you an example where emotion is being used already, combined with artificial intelligence for a business case. You can like this example, you can be frightened by this example, but it's fascinating, right? Call center operators getting real-time sentiment analysis. Sentiment analysis is basically positive sentiment or negative sentiments of voice data to identify frustrated customers. So you can imagine this. You are an operator, someone on the call, and there is some red dot coming on your screen. You are the operator getting redder and redder because the AI algorithms is telling you that the customer is getting angry and angry and more angry and more and more and more angry. This is real, this is taking place, but you can say, well, kind of frightening, science fiction, but not. But the real element, interesting point, is the second one. Call center operators getting real-time sentiment analysis of voice data to identify frustrated customers and real-time advice to turn a frustrated customer into a smiling customers. So you can imagine, again, you are a call operators, you have a frustrated customers, and you get advice on your screen. Well, don't tell any bad joke to this customer. Is really, really angry. He's not going to be very happy. But you could tell this joke. I think he will set up better. Or you can have this mild joke, or you can propose to these customers some promotion to reduce the anger. So all this is real. All this can be done already today. But the point I'm making here, the data to make this happening is, first of all, is voice. Second is emotion in the voice. And that is a completely new type of data that nobody thought about it before, but has been exploited by this company for a real use. So, all type of data, but integrating all data. And this, again, is easy to say, very difficult to be done. You need to remove all data silos and integrate all your data in data lake. And you need to access external data for better prediction. Open source data, statistical data. I want to give you an example, again, of another analytic innovators, another Oracle customer, Airbus, well known for manufacturing plane. They integrate all their data. And I just give you some numbers in terms of volume of data Airbus is considering. 25 growth in test flight data from 83 to 2013. 45 terabytes generated for aircraft for every test flight. 450 terabytes. Capturing data every 5 milliseconds. 67,000 parameters. When we're talking about data, Airbus knows a lot here. So they opened a new customer response centers. The question was to resolve aircraft grounding. So it's basically the aircraft has been inspected on the airport just before taking off. There is a mechanical checkup. There is a checkup. The checkup is not okay. The customer response center needs to find immediately a solution for this. So again, I will see how they are using AI to find the right solution for the problems. In terms of data integration, to do this, they have to combine information from field performance, warranty, maintenance manual, orders, and sensors. 10 previously siloed systems. So yes, we have a lot of data in companies, in organization, but they are very silos. And if you want to achieve what Airbus did here, you need to integrate all this. Another example of Airbus, which is again a very, very important business problems. They want to increase the production rate of a new aircraft. Okay, instead of producing 1 aircraft a week, to produce two every week. The major problem for a production line is disruption in the factory, disruption in the assembly line, something break. So again, what they need to do is to identify, to propose a solution to the factory worker to solution the problem, to resolve the problem. And in terms of algorithmic, here, they want to identify patterns in production problems. And to do this, they have sensor data available. They have problem description, textual description. So we are talking about text data here, and contextual information. So it's not just this line is broken because of this, is also contextual information about when it happens, what happened before, what happened after. So all this is stored in a database. And there is a description of the issue on the production line. So when something happened on the production line, they are matching the issue they have with all the available data, and they are trying to find already a solution that has been applied before for similar problems. Their matching engine, because it's a matching engine between past problems and current issue, is right at 70%. So they're capable with these AI algorithms to find in 70% of the case of something breaking in the assembly line to find a solution, which is remarkable to achieve this objective to increase production rate of a new aircraft. So just to point another very, very important point, because AI, machine learning, is very glamorous, right? So now, before, it was very good for a mother to say, my son is a doctor, my son is a lawyer, now my son is a data scientist, right? It's a new glamorous thing to be, which is great. However, there are many, many things you need to do before being able to exploit your algorithms. Data collection and preparation are typically the most time-consuming activities in developing AI-based application. Much more so than selecting and tuning a model. So again, we are back to the data. Data, where are the data? Which type of data? How will we clean the data? What data we store? I take the example of the maintenance for Airbus. If they are not storing the failures in the system, but only the success, well, they will not be able to identify any problems. None. So this preparation is absolutely essential, and it comes with some of the solution Oracle has in that field that I will present very quickly, but the concept of data lake now is taking the new concept above data warehouse. It's about collecting all the data available for you. And Oracle is using a lot of, it's exposing through the cloud a lot of open source component for artificial intelligence and machine learning. So basically, we are proposing Apache to manage services from Hadoop, Spark, Cassandra, Kafka. So we are using Kafka. So we are self-managing Kafka. Kafka, what is Kafka? It's an event hub. You can stream data from sensors. You can stream data from other system, from other cloud to be collected and to be stored in your data lake. And this is, Kafka is an open source applications. We are using Cloudera Hadoop for big data, and we are using exposing the Spark stack as well for machine learning and machine learning and AI algorithms. In addition, in terms of analysis, we are proposing the R language, which is an open source language to do statistical analysis. So basically, the point here, if you go to Oracle Cloud, public cloud, all these tools, open source tools, are available for a subscription fee for you to learn, to train, to experiment. We are continuously building our AI platform, so we have a complete stack for people, companies who want to explore but also using in production AI system. So we are thinking of two types of users here. We are end users like me, like you. You are not specialists in AI, but you want to use the capabilities of AI. You are a financial manager, you are HR managers. So what we have done now in all our applications, like human capital management, supply chain management, ERP, we have embedded AI application already to predict outcomes or anomalies. An example of this is for human capital management to automatically recommend the best candidates for a position. So based on a job description, based on skills and competencies, based on reading a CV of a candidate, we are proposing a recommendation within the HCM system for recommending a set of candidates. So this is embedded. You don't need to know AI. This is part of the functionality. And we have such a functionality, for example, for supply chain management to identify the best supplier for getting the best product in terms of quality or in terms of price or both. So all this is embedded. And we have trained models, so industry trained models by industry, which are embedded as well, where you can just use this model, feed the model with your own data to find outcomes which are valid for your companies and your business. At the second level, we have all the data management and integration. I talk about the data lake services, but we have data preparation services and data enrichment services. So that's basically building up the infrastructures for exploiting your data. And then we have the AI development platform. This is really for the expert, for the data scientist. We have available machine learning algorithms ready to be used, AI algorithms ready to be used, and deep learning. So neural networks where you can do image recognition, natural language recognition, text recognition to do this kind of funny call center type of applications. So common AI libraries, the major machine learning framework, and the associated development tools to expose the results. And this is based on the very high performance infrastructures because, you know, AI, you need a lot of computing powers. So we are offering graphical process unit. We have flash storage, and we have very fast internet. So the AI platform has all the level, all the stack needed for you to experiment or to develop application using machine learning and AI algorithms. So a few points to conclude here in terms of next step for your organization or for your companies. In 30 minutes, we can just touch a very little. What I wanted to expose today is AI is not science fiction, and is not just for data scientists. It's not just for people learning and understanding all this complex AI algorithms, this machine learning and deep learning. It's also for business to use for business outcome. I presented Airbus cases, are presenting the company selling seed and fertilizer to farmers, Netflix doing recommendations, call centers using sentiment analysis for analyzing customers. So all these are real business case. So the next step, of course, attend an AI demo in our Saudi Oracle office. We will be more than happy to accommodate you. We have many demos there. You need to identify your use case. So what are the goals you want to achieve using AI and deep learning? And there are a lot, I mean, you can see the use case I've been presenting. There are many, many, many use cases. You need fundamentally, and I put this really as a key point, it's not just because Oracle is a data company, a database company. It's just because it's a basic for a good AI infrastructures. Create, improve your data infrastructures by building a data lake. You need to be able to mobilize all those data available. You need to understand where your data are in your organization, who are the owners, where they are being stored, and how you will integrate all this together. Of course, you need to enhance your analytics capabilities. If you are just at the reporting levels, you will need to move to big data to mash unstructured and structured data. You will need to get data scientists on board. It's pretty much obvious. And then you can select and train your model, your AI algorithms, to get business outcome that you can use to improve your business, to improve a process, to get a better return or better customer engagement. So, to conclude, Oracle is really looking at all the technologies, new technologies, which are enhancing the business and disrupting really the business. Oracle Intelligence Bots. So we have a chatbot development platform if you want to interact through cognitive artificial intelligence with your customers. We have Oracle IoT Cloud for streaming connected device. We have Oracle Blockchain, a set of services that you can use, API services, to create a blockchain environment. We have the Oracle AI platform I just presented, and we are ready for whatever is next. As we say, the pace of innovation never slows, and Oracle is with you all the way. I thank you very much for the invitation and for listening to my speech today. I hope you have a very great day today and tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Okay, we have like 5 minutes for questions and answers. If any of the audience would like to ask our speaker, yes, please. Mike Hill, please.
I didn't say how beautiful the room is. It's really very great. Really great.
Good morning. Thanks a million for the speech. My name is Hussein. I'm a lecturer in finance here in the university, and I'm doctoring in moral philosophy in the University of Granada. So, a very brief 2 questions. First one for you and for your guest. Do you have any plan in Oracle as a database company to transfer the know-how in a big magnitude? Because here in Saudi Arabia, we are working hard, like looking for 2030 to move into a country that is very innovative and into technology country. And we are thinking not only to consume the technology, but to produce it. Do you have any program in a big, because we are one of your biggest markets, as you said. Do you have any big programs to transfer the know-how from Oracle to Saudi Arabia? And the second question, very briefly, do you think when you collect data like the example in the voice analysis in Oracle, when you collect data, do you consider only the legal question or also the moral question? So, for example, in your call, in analyzing the call, do you don't see it immoral to be in a higher position than because I'm calling you have more strength. So you only consider that it's because you always are ahead of the legislation. We don't have a legislation in Saudi Arabia now to say it's prohibited that you collect data about analyzing the voice. So this is my question. Thanks a million.
Thank you. On the first questions, I think one point, as I mentioned, that Oracle is going to open an Oracle public cloud in Saudi Arabia. So this is a large investment. So I think it's a good starting point. We have several programs, and Naja, but I can present you the person is leading this here. We are working closely with a university. We have a startup program as well, started in other countries that we are thinking about rolling out here. So there are several initiatives, but I think the most important for us is to set up this Oracle public cloud in Saudi Arabia, because from there a lot of things can happen, can be done, right? And it's a major investment. A second point on the legality and ethics of machine learning. I would say we are privileged in a way because we are providing the technology like all the technology companies. So the usage of the technology is under the responsibility of the countries and the companies, and we have no power to make legislation, right? We can provide white papers to governments, to organizations, but it's not our realm to do this, frankly speaking. So, but we are helping government to understand data protection, data regulation. Of course, we have our opinion and we said it, but we have no power to, of course, change or push for legislation, right? We are neutral in a way. So that's an easy position.
I think we have time for one more question. Dr. Saad, please. One mic here. Any questions from the ladies' side? Okay.
Thank you very much for the presentation. It looks to me that you have actually well covered the generic issues of cloud computing. I want to ask you about the specific clouds that you do. For example, do you have a specific cloud for education or for healthcare? And also, do you plan, just like what the colleague asked you, do you plan to have a training center, for example, for your technology here, so that you have the people working with you from the country itself?
Well, I think in terms of training center, there is a big displacement coming because of the cloud. So what we see happening is very much opening the services under certain conditions, our cloud services to different kind of people in university for a specific fee. But we don't envision to have a specific cloud for university, for healthcare. Okay, we have services that are accessible by any public. Now we can make certain conditions to lower the cost, okay, of subscribing. So we have free trial of our cloud, for example. Okay, there are a lot of resources on the net as well, which are more and more available, delivered by Oracle. So I think the resource is there. A lot of things exist already and can be consumed by anyone, I would say. This is a new model of consumption. It's basically, it's there on the net. You access it. You access big services. I mean, basically, when I was younger, I would have never dreamed to take my credit card or just to have free for 30 days to have access to this computing power, this storage power, and free AI algorithms and deep learning algorithms where I could feed my data and do my research. Couldn't happen at the time. So that's a big change.
Just one more thing. Now there is a trend towards smart cities.
Yeah.
And smart cities have various functions on the cloud. Do you have, and there is a recommendation by ISO on what functions should be done. So do you have anything in that
Yes,
direction?
well, basically we are announcing specific government on cloud for the US government, for example, okay? So it's very localized in the US for now. We need to understand a bit better the market as well and how much needs to happen. I think everybody is every suppliers, technology companies is in the same area, okay? A lot of things is changing every day, so and it's a huge investment in terms of money to set up a cloud somewhere, right? It's big money.
Yeah.
We can squeeze one more
One more
final question here from the side.
Thank you. I'm not an IT expert, but I'm just curious. You mentioned oil. You compared oil with.
We cannot hear you clearly, please.
Yeah. Is it clearer now?
Yeah, a little bit.
Clear?
Yeah, more.
Clear. Okay. You compared oil with artificial intelligence, and you know the oil is tightly connected to the currency. Will bitcoins be connected to the artificial intelligence? I'm just curious. Will Bitcoin be connected to the artificial intelligence?
Well, basically, I didn't mention Bitcoin here because it's not fully linked. I mean, to artificial intelligence. It's another area where you're using technology for currency. There are some links. It's another way of exploiting data, but I mean the technology behind is very much different. Okay? We are talking different things. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Alain.